Picture this. You've paid 5 figures for surgery. Your body is bruised, bandaged, and begging for care. And somehow you've ended up healing in someone's musty spare room, stretched out on Dollar Tree sheets, surrounded by second-hand vibes and a nurse who learned post-op care from TikTok and maybe YouTube and a little trial and error. Sis, that's not recovery. That's a liability, dressed in mood lighting and incentive like reheated soup and Febreze. You're sipping broth out of a plastic mug, using a rolled-up hoodie as a neck pillow while someone with no formal training tells you to just rest. Just rest. Take it easy when your vitals are off and your body is in distress. Let me say this. When I say luxury, I don't mean expensive. I mean you are deserving of peace, comfort, and qualified care. You're deserving of fresh sheets, quiet rest, and someone who knows how to read the signs before things go left. Luxury is feeling safe. Luxury is being seen. Luxury is having not to advocate for yourself while you're in pain, in distress, feeling nauseous. So no, this episode is not just about calling out shady recovery houses. It's about calling you in to reclaim what you deserve. Healing that's intentional, care that's professional, and support that feels like a soft place to land, not a side hustle in disguise. Before we dive in, let me introduce myself, especially for those who are new here. I'm Nurse Drippyana, licensed nurse, healing hype woman, post-op doula, and founder of Dripping Wellness and Dollhouse HQ. I'm the one they call when things get real, when you need more than pretty vibes and Pinterest quotes. I bring the IVs, the insight, and the inner work because healing is more than physical. It's mindset, energy, and having the right damn team around you. So whether you're prepping for surgery, deep in recovery, or just here for the realness, welcome. You're exactly where you need to be. Let's start here because this is where most people get played. A lot of these luxury recovery houses you see on Instagram, they're not licensed, they're not regulated, and they damn sure aren't insured. So if something goes wrong, guess what? Nobody is liable. Not them, not the owner, not the girl in the scrubs handing out pills. You're on your own. And I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to save you. Because behind the moonlighting and the throw blankets, some of these places are one bad moment away from tragedy. No emergency protocols, no doctor on call, no licensed or registered nurse. No records, no standards. The American Society of Plastic Surgeons literally issued warnings and continue to issue warnings. People are recovering in houses with untrained staff, giving out meds like Tic Tacs. Some of them don't even have basic first aid certification, not even CPR, but they'll gladly take your $300 a night. Let me break it down for you. No license equals no oversight. No insurance equals no accountability. No medical background equals no business touching your beautiful post-op body. A 28-year-old woman recently died after surgery at one of these Miami surgical centers. They gave her painkillers from unmarked bottles or from other patients that were staying in the home. She was in respiratory distress, and the recovery house, they were operating illegally. No license, no backup, no protection, no protocol. So if you're picking your recovery house based on aesthetic alone, you are gambling with your life for a vibe. And I want better for you than that. You got to want better for you than that too. Don't get caught up in that pretty packaging trap. I mean, that's what really pulls people in. The aesthetic, the rose petals, the fluffy robes, the pink neon sign that says soft life only. It's giving glamour, it's giving luxury, or is it giving discounts and freebies, screaming affordability? Glam does not equal care, friend. Affordable does not equal safe. So don't let the pretty packaging distract you from the lack of protection, the lack of safety, the lack of competence. Some of these places are out here selling a vibe, not safety. Shared rooms, nothing wrong with that, but staff with no medical credentials, pain meds being handed out like snacks, zero documentation, drains left clogged. And let's just talk about this for a second. Can you imagine rooming with a total stranger while you're stitched up, swollen, bleeding, nauseous, emotionally raw, on the brink of regret? That's not recovery. That's vulnerability on display with no boundaries. And it breaks my heart at how normalized this has become. Now, don't get me wrong. A recovery house can be both glamorous and clinically safe. That combination does exist. I've seen it. I've been there. There are places with trained nurses, strict protocol, and yes, the cucumber water and the candles too. I've seen it done right, but it is rare, and these homes usually don't have to beg for business with flashy deals or flashy reels or discount codes. What you need is vitals, meds, wound care, actual human dignity, not a charcuterie board and a ring light. Albeit, if you are blessed to have all the things, then you better work. I've had clients come to me wrecked physically and mentally because they fell for the aesthetic. And baby, once you're in that room and it hits you that the nurse is just somebody's cousin in scrubs, you realize pretty fast that pretty does not save lives. All right, let's get into what actually happens after you check in. Because once the flowers wilt and the filtered photos stop, what you're left with is a staff that may or may not be trained to handle what your body's about to go through. I want to be clear here. Not every recovery house is evil, and not every staff member has to be a nurse. There are certified caregivers out here who are absolutely competent, compassionate, and trained in post-op basics. That can be okay if it's a part of a bigger system, right? But here's the thing. You don't know what you're walking into unless you ask the right questions. One client of mine told me she thought she was going to a nurse staff facility. When she arrived, the person taking care of her was a former home health aide. Sweet girl, great intentions, but she wasn't checking vitals. She didn't know how to monitor for embolism signs, and she panicked when the client had a reaction to her pain meds. What you need not is a panicker. So whoever's caring for you needs to know what they're doing and not panic. Another story, this one really stuck with me. I was in so much pain, I couldn't get out of bed. They told me someone would help me shower. No one came. I was covered in blood and dry drainage for almost 2 days. And she too paid over $300 a night and had no nurse, no backup, no dignity. And I'm sorry, but that's unacceptable. When you're post-op, your body is in shock. Your mind is not even fully present. You need professional eyes on you. You need someone who knows the difference between a normal low-grade fever and signs of sepsis. Look, it doesn't have to be a nurse 24/7, but it does need to be someone trained, someone who knows their scope, someone who isn't afraid to call for help when it's above their pay grade. That right there is the biggest thing. Ego and pride will get somebody in trouble really quick. What you don't need is a girl with no glove, no chart, and no clue, asking you what to do when you're doped up and leaking through your forearm. The recovery house owners, the entrepreneurs, the people who started this business with good intentions, but maybe didn't know what they didn't know. And it's time to level up. If you're running a recovery house and you're not licensed, not insured, or operating with untrained staff, I'm not here to drag you. I'm here to help you understand that it's time to get right, because I know some of you genuinely care about your clients. I know some of you are providing love, attention, and comfort to people that need it. But love, without liability protection, care without proper credentials, that's not sustainable and it's not safe. Here's the truth. You may be providing exceptional care. Your clients may love you. Your reviews might be glowing. But if you're not operating within state regulation, you're one emergency away from losing everything. And I'm not just talking about your business. I'm talking about someone's life. The regulations aren't there to make your life harder. Protect you from lawsuits, liability, and the heartbreak of not being able to help when someone needs it most. So here's what you need to do today. 1, get licensed through AHCA, Agency for Healthcare Administration, and that is at least in Florida. If you are in Florida, you need to be licensed as an assisted living facility or adult family care home if you're providing personal care services. This is not optional. It's the law. Number 2, get proper insurance. General liability just isn't enough. You need professional liability insurance that covers post-operative care. Because if someone has complications on your watch, you need to be protected, and so do they. Number 3, train your staff or hire trained staff. CPR certification is the bare minimum. Post-op care training is non-negotiable. So it doesn't have to be a nurse. It can be a registered nurse, LPN, whoever it is, have them be trained. Number 4, develop real protocols, emergency procedures, medication management, vital sign monitoring, wound care standards. You can't just wing it and hope for the best. That's not going to work. It's also not sustainable. Number 5, partner with medical professionals. Get a doctor or a nurse practitioner on call. Have relationships with local hospitals. Create a referral system so that your clients have continuity of care. Licensing takes time. Insurance costs money. Training requires investment. But you know what costs? A lawsuit, a debt, a reputation destroyed because you were cutting corners on safety. That's what costs more. And here's the thing. Doing it right doesn't mean sacrificing the aesthetic or the experience. You can have the credentials and the credentials. You can have the luxury and the liability protection. Some of the most successful recovery houses I know are the ones that invested in being legitimate from day one. They have the website, the EIN, the LLC, they have the bank account, they have the invoicing system, they have the protocol, standing orders. So if you know you need to make changes, make them. Don't wait for something to go wrong. Don't wait for a client to get hurt. And don't wait for the state to shut you down. Get licensed, get insured, get trained, get legal, because the industry needs you. The industry needs more people who care, but it needs them to care the right way. And your clients deserve to heal in a place that's beautiful and safe so that you can have all the things you deserve as a business owner. If you need help navigating the licensing process, reach out to Aka directly. If you need resources for staff training, contact your local nursing schools or healthcare training programs. There are people who want to help you do this right. The question is, are you ready to do the work? Are you ready to do the work? You're already doing so much for the people. Do the right thing for the people. Vet it like you vetted your surgeon. Now let's talk strategy. Because just like you stopped your surgeons before and afters, deep dived their credentials, and zoomed in on every scar in their portfolio, you need to do the exact same thing with your recovery home. This is not the time to assume. Don't get caught up in the vibes, the decor, or the catchy name like Snatch Sanctuary or the Healing House. Cute name, but is it giving safety? Here's your no fluff vetting checklist. We're going to start with number 1. Are they licensed by the state or by APA, the Agency of Healthcare Administration? If they are not, they are illegal, point blank. And if something goes wrong, no insurance, no liability equals no recourse. Number 2, who's providing the care? Is it a registered nurse, an LPN, a certified caregiver, or someone who just watched a few TikToks and bought some scrubs on Amazon? Ask for names, ask for credentials, then verify them. How many clients are there per caregiver? If they're stacking 5 people in a 3-bedroom house with 1 overworked staff member, that's not care. That's a hostel in compression socks, okay? What is their emergency protocol? Do they have a doctor or nurse on call? How fast can they call EMS? Do they have an actual plan if you spike a fever or pass out? These are questions to ask. Number 5, can you speak to past clients and not the sponsored ones? Can you speak to real, actual clients? Because reviews from Alicia B with no profile picture will not count. We need real people, real feedback, and unfiltered. What's their process for meds, vitals, and meals? Do they chart your meds, monitor your blood pressure? Are the meals nourishing or just DoorDash and hoping for the best? Are they filled with sodium and sugar, things that'll delay your healing? If they hit you with, we're not a medical facility when you ask these questions, run and run fast. Because you're literally trusting these people with your life when your immune system is down, your pain is high, and your body is wide open. This is not the time to play polite or shy. Vet the recovery house the same way you vetted your surgeon, because they are a part of your outcome too. Now that we've called out all the chaos, let's talk about what actually works, because real recovery is about more than just being cute in a robe. It's about being protected, seen, and supported. And yes, you can have all of that without sacrificing the aesthetics. You don't have to choose between vibe and vital signs. Here are a few smarter, safer, and still self-life approved ways to recover like the queen you are. Option 1, the vetted and legal recovery house when they do it right. Now listen, I'm not here to completely drag every recovery house into the ground because the truth is there are legitimate, licensed, well-run recovery houses out there that are doing this the right way. They exist, they're beautiful, they're safe, and they might be perfect for you. These are the places that invested in getting licensed from day one. They have registered nurses on staff, or at least experienced caregivers who are trained in safety. They're insured, they follow protocols, they track your vitals, monitor your meds, and know when to call your surgeon, and know when to call an emergency. They can show you their credentials, their emergency procedures, and their success stories, the real one. And if that's you, if you're a recovery house owner, he's doing everything by the book, he's invested in proper licensing, he has trained staff who prioritizes safety over aesthetics, I want to hear from you. I want to add you to my list of vetted, safe, reliable, and knowledgeable provider list. Shoot me an email at contact@thedollhousehq.com. We're going to put it right there. Because here's the thing. I'm not about tearing down the good ones. I'm about lifting them up and connecting them with clients who deserve quality care. If you're one of the recovery houses getting it right, I want to help people find you. These houses understand that luxury and safety aren't mutually exclusive. You can have the rose gold fixtures and the medical grade equipment. You can have the Instagram worthy rooms and the trained staff who knows what sepsis looks like. You can have the soft life aesthetic and the hard science protocols that keep you alive. What makes these places different? They are licensed by ACA or their state's health department. They have liability insurance that actually covers post-op care. Their staff includes licensed nurses, not just people in scrubs. They maintain proper documentation and medical records. They have established relationships with local hospitals and doctors. They can provide references from actual medical professionals, not just satisfied customers. Now, these places might cost more than the budget often. They might not have availability exactly when you want it. They might not accept every client who applies because they actually strain from medical complexity, but that's exactly why they're worth considering. If you want the recovery house experience with the professional oversight, you like the community aspect of healing alongside others, you prefer having meals, housekeeping, and care coordinated for you. You've done your research and found a place that checks all the boxes. If you can't find a recovery house in your area that meets those standards, or if the good ones are booked up, or if the pricing doesn't work for your budget, then move on to option 2, because settling for unsafe just because it's available or because it's affordable is never the option. Option 2, the Airbnb or hotel plus a certified private care giver, nurse, HHA medical assistant that's trained. This setup is everything if you're the kind of woman that likes control, calm, and custom comfort. You book your own recovery space, whether it's a cozy Airbnb with blackout curtains and a stocked fridge, or a quiet hotel suite with daily cleaning, and then you bring in real professional support. Not vibes, not wishful thinking, but verified licensed support that knows what to do when things get real. You're not sharing a room with 3 strangers in matching robes. You're not eating whatever mush the recovery house has on rotation. And you're definitely not being cared for by someone who has just learned this from helping her homegirl a couple of years ago with her BBL. You're in control. You choose your recovery bed, firm, soft, whatever your body needs, right? You pick your meals, organic smoothies or Chick-fil-A. However, I would go against the Chick-fil-A in the first few days as it has sodium. It's fried. It's really not good for nutrition, but I digress. What I'm trying to say is that it's your call. You set the vibe, soft jazz, Asian waves, trap gospel, whatever it is. Nobody's judging. And best of all, your nurse or caregiver is there for you only. No distractions, no waiting, no rushing through your meds or forgetting your vitals because someone else is bleeding in the next room. None of that. It's all about you. This option is especially for out-of-town patients who want a peaceful recovery experience, women who value privacy over group care, people recovering from multiple procedures who need focused attention. It's discreet, it's elevated, it's your space, and it's one of the safest ways to recover if you can organize your team, or better yet, let someone like me help you set it up the right way. Because let's be real, you didn't drop thousands of dollars to recover in chaos. You deserve healing that respects your investment and protects your peace, which is why I've created these virtual packages by Inside the Dollhouse. The first one is for my out-of-state beauties, my out-of-state girlies. Our virtual concierge package is made just for my independent queens who are doing it on their own, but smart enough to know they still need a real team behind them. This package includes everything you see here: swipe, point, zoom, whatever you need to do. This provides peace of mind, personalized prep, and zero guesswork from your fava to your food tray. You just, sis, you are the investment. For my Florida girly, if you're in state or you're visiting here for surgery, welcome to the red carpet. Our elite recovery concierge is the VIP experience. This right here, IV therapy, check. Post-op support, handled. Your focus is on resting. We'll take care of the rest. This provides full body, full soul healing without the lift of a finger, without having to worry or think about anything, because luxury isn't a maybe, it's a must. Let's be clear. This is more than just a package. It's a plan, it's protection, it's peace, because I just got tired of watching too many women get left behind during their most vulnerable, sacred healing moment. Dollhouse recovery isn't just about healing, it's about being held, being heard, and honored every step of the way. And sis, if you're researching recovery homes, vetting caregivers, or trying to organize all the moving parts has stopped being cute, let me take that weight off your shoulders. I offer recovery provider vetting services too, so you can stop guessing and start healing. All right, sis, if you made it this far, first of all, bless you, because you clearly care about doing this the right way. And that right there, that's half the battle. Recovery isn't the glamorous part. It's not the photo shoot. It's not the reveal. It's the real. And what happens after surgery is just as important, if not more, than the surgery itself. You don't get a redo if your hair goes wrong. And I don't want you to be the woman who looks amazing in her before and after picture, but is quietly suffering. You deserve care that protects your results, honors your investment, and supports your full healing, mind, body, and soul. That's why I created the Dollhouse Recovery Package, because I've seen the gaps and now I am filling them. If you're preparing for surgery, recovering now, or you're feeling overwhelmed by the planning, let's talk. Whether you're in Florida or out of state, I've got a package or a plan for you. Visit www.thedollhousehq to book your recovery consultation, or message me directly on Facebook at the Dollhouse HQ. If you're unsure where to start, hit me up. I'm happy to help. I'd be honored to be a part of your surgical journey. If you found this episode helpful, share it. Like, subscribe, comment, post it in your surgery group, because someone else needs this info too. And we're not gatekeeping safe healing over here. None of that. Until next time, protect your peace, prep like a pro, and never confuse vibes with value. This is Dollhouse HQ, where we don't just help you heal. We help you thrive, not just survive.